Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead, where today we're going to be doing a little bit on emergency preparedness and food security using our food storage to make chicken and dumplings. Chicken and dumplings is such a comfort food and would be a wonderful addition to our food storage planning and preparation as one of our meals for the 60 days or even for a year's supply. Most of the recipes, including the recipe that I'm going to use today, that I'm going to be including the link to the recipe. It will be right below the description of the video, so you can link on it. Most of the recipes that we retrieve from the internet or wherever these days are, of course, under the assumption that we have fully functioning grocery stores available, that we can purchase anything we need for whatever the recipe might be. But that option may not always be in place for us, and we might have to put this meal together using just what we have on our food storage shelves. We have for over a year now been emphasizing the idea of level 1 food storage, which is the integration of your freezer, your refrigerator, and your pantry in terms of having 60 days worth of meals readily available, either pre-frozen or with the ingredients available in those three areas, the pantry, the refrigerator, or the freezer. So let's go through the ingredients and talk about how we might be able to plan ahead to have these ingredients available in uncertain times that we may be facing. So first of all, it calls for 2 cans of soup, cream of celery and cream of chicken. These will store for well over a year. So I usually pick these up by the case so that we have a case lot of each of these plus a cream of mushroom, because they are so versatile in making all kinds of recipes. So that's one thing we can easily pull from our food storage. The vegetables, this calls for onions, celery, and carrots. Now, we did not make a special trip to the store to pick up things for this. Rather, I pulled these from the carrots and the celery from the refrigerator, and the onions. Actually, the onion was a leftover onion that I had in the refrigerator as well. But what alternatives might we be able to count on just in case we didn't have these available for fresh? Well, with onions, we could have some that we have dehydrated or freeze-dried, or we could even substitute the onion bits that you can buy commercially prepared in the spice department. So that would be one thing. And then the same with the celery and the carrots. We could use those as, we could rehydrate them from either dehydrating or freeze-drying. The other alternative is that we could use a can of mixed vegetables in place for that, drain that. We still would need to add onion because most mixed vegetables don't include onion. Sometimes they might, but we would be able to do some substitutions from our food storage if we have prepared wisely. It calls for chicken. Now, we have plenty of chicken in our freezer. This calls for a whole chicken that has been cut up, bones in, skin on. The bones and the skin give extra flavor, and so we would want to preserve that. Well, we had not a whole chicken, but we're going to use what we have in place, and that is I have a package of thighs, and it takes 3 pounds, so I've combined the weight of 1 package of thighs, bone in, skin on, with a boneless and skinless breast. This is what I have. It's not exactly what the recipe calls for, but it's going to do because we're doing this as if we were doing it with food storage. Then it calls for 4 cups of chicken broth. Now, there are a number of different ways we could do this. We could have canned chicken broth on our shelves. We can home can chicken broth like what this is, or we could use bouillon cubes. And we have in our food storage beef bouillon, tomato bouillon, and chicken bouillon enough for well over a year. So if I don't have the home canned stuff available, we do have the bouillon available. And then lastly, salt and pepper and thyme. So just having plenty of that for a year's supply is an easy thing to do. So we are set and ready to go with our food storage chicken and dumplings in the slow cooker. Now, because it is the slow cooker, and if we think about when the grid might be down, it is also something for us to plan for, to be able to run some of our kitchen appliances, such as the slow cooker. And we have that with our Bluetti solar batteries that we have, solar storage units. So I'm placing the chicken in the bottom of the slow cooker. This is a 6-quart slow cooker. This chicken breast is going to get done before the others because it's boneless and skinless. So I've got those on the bottom. So then I'm going to put the veggies over the top, carrots, celery, and onions. Then in this little bowl, I am going to mix my quart of chicken broth. I run through chicken broth so fast. This was done in September of this year, so it's only about 6 weeks old. And I'm already running low, so I'll need to do another batch of that, or just rely on the bouillon that I have. And then it calls for these 2 cans of soup, which I'm going to add. And these will be reconstituted using the chicken broth rather than with water. And I'm going to add the spices, and this is a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of thyme. And so those are going in, and I'm going to whisk this all together to make it nice and mixed. So as this cooks, the chicken juices will be added to this, and it will just be a yummy mixture. All right, I have a lot of spices still stuck in here, so I'm going to go after them. The lid goes on, and we're going to turn this to low. On low, this will take 6 or 7 hours, but I'm going to be checking that chicken breast. And as soon as that chicken breast gets up to 165, I'm going to pull it out. I'll leave the thighs in longer because it will take them longer to get up to that. But I don't want that chicken to be overcooked as we go forward. So then what we're going to do after about 6 hours, when everything is all done and wonderful, then we're going to pull all of the chicken out. And we're going to let it cool a little bit, and we will then bone the chicken and discard the bones and the skin and flake the meat. And then we will make the dumplings and put them on the top and let them cook until they are done. And then we'll add the chicken back in and stir it all together, and we will have a lovely evening meal. So we will come back when we're ready to make those dumplings. It has been about 5 hours. I have had it on high for the last little bit. I pulled the chicken out. All of the chicken measured 165 or above on a instant read thermometer. And so it is cooling, and I'll be pulling the meat off of that in just a few minutes. In this bowl, I have the dry ingredients, the flour, the salt, and the baking powder for the dumplings, along with the butter that I have cut in. And now I'm about ready to add 1 cup of milk. And again, the recipe will be a link for you underneath the description of this video, so you can follow exactly what the dumplings recipe is. So I'm going to stir the dumpling mixture around so it should pick up, the liquid should pick up all of the flour in the bowl and kind of become a ball. It's turning into a ball right now. So I'm going to turn it out. And I'm going to work it just a little bit, kneading it, not very much. It does not need to be kneaded, it just needs to be brought together. And my counter very rarely needs to have flour on it when I do a mixture like this, but if yours does, then by all means, put a little bit of flour, and then you can pat it or roll it out into a rectangle that is about 1/4 inch thick. And I'm going to get my rolling pin. So the 1/4 inch thick is going to be thin for dumplings. We're going to cut them in little oblong pieces. And we want them fairly thin so that they will cook faster. Okay, so I'm going to cut them about 1 inch wide. And we are going to drop them right on top of the boiling mixture. This is going to be thick with dumplings. While the dumplings are cooking for the next half hour, I will be pulling off the meat from the bones and separating the skins so that we just have a lovely pile of chicken here ready to go back in just as soon as the dumplings are done. So we will come back at that point. This has made our house smell glorious all afternoon. So we're still about 3 hours away from dinner, but dinner is now ready. So you can see the dumplings here, and they, of course, have been cooked in this liquid, and so they're not like dry biscuits. They're going to be a little bit moist, but they are done in the middle, as you can maybe see right here. And so I'm just going to move them aside a little bit, the dumplings, and then I'm going to put the chicken in. And I'm going to stir everything together. I grew up with chicken and dumplings, with the dumplings looking more like biscuits on the top, and it was like a crust that we would not disturb. And it would be dished out a little bit of the bread, the dumplings on in everyone's bowl. But this is mixed together. So even though we're not quite ready for dinner, I'm going to just put a little bit in this bowl. And I'm going to turn this to warm so it will stay warm for us. And then I'm going to give this a taste. So here's a little bit of the dumpling with the gravy and a bite of chicken. It's wonderful. It is just wonderful. The chicken taste is permeated throughout. The dumplings are tender. They're done. They're not doughy at all. They're moist, but they're not doughy on the inside. Vegetables are done. The gravy is exactly the right thickness. I can't wait till dinner. This is going to be wonderful. And this will probably feed us for 3 meals. And so I will either be freezing some or putting some in the refrigerator. It will be good in the refrigerator for up to a week, so I can keep some in there. And we'll probably freeze one dinner for us out in the freezer so that we can have it a little bit later and add to our level 1 food storage to have another meal ready to go in case we're going to be needing it in times of emergency. So this is a great, great recipe, and I hope that you try it and will enjoy it as well. And we would love to hear your comments on how it turned out for you. So thank you so much for being with us for this video, and we will see you very soon for more videos.